The people who have donated already.
The people who have donated already.
Yes, we should do that right away. Even before we start collecting more donations.
Even before we start collecting more donations.
Yeah, if they want to be thanked.
If they want to be thanked.
If some requested not to.
What approach that?
We just passed the proposal. The people to speak in the middle of the church.
I have a concern.
Concern. Okay.
Two concerns.
Two concerns.
Firstly, our financial system
Our financial system
here at Occupy Toronto
here at Occupy Toronto
is so screwed up
is so screwed up
that I don't understand
how
how we can be making decisions about collecting, distributing, and using that money until we actually have that money. I've said time and time again, I have actually the largest amount of donations in my possession, and I would love to give them to the community, but I cannot due to the fact of our banking issues. So my concern is, let's perhaps not focus on receiving donations because we already have a lot to use, and let's focus getting the more important things. Not that I'm saying having donors isn't important. But without taking the proper steps, we can't even receive donations. A whole bunch of other people want to speak. Sign this first. I think that we need to remember that Occupy consists of everyone here so when we're making decisions about anything, lots of voices need to be included. In terms of people taking money to buy their own dinner, I firmly believe that we need to be taking money and putting it into a place that is distributed as evenly as possible, as equitably
horizontally as possible. So the ratio thing is too complicated for us right now. Let's focus
on simplifying
making our financial system
more transparent and honest. That's all.
On the topic
Of this proposal,
being mindful of the clock, which is actually in my pocket.
in my pocket,
We've got about another 5 minutes before we have to close this General Assembly. I've heard rumors of food maybe on the way. What I would suggest that from what I understand, anybody can do a business venture
can do a business venture
and commit to providing half of that money
to
Occupy Toronto.
Occupy Toronto.
Therefore,
Therefore,
I don't know
I don't know
if this needs to be endorsed by the General Assembly.
if this needs to be endorsed by the General Assembly.
In my opinion,
It's
up to the individuals supporting that business
it's up to the individuals supporting that business
to talk to that business
to talk to that business
or charity,
find out
how the money is being used,
how the money is being used,
whether it's direct accounting or the other. Cut to the point. Maybe this doesn't have to go through the General Assembly.
So long as you don't say Occupy Toronto's doing this, you're doing it for Occupy Toronto.
Thank you.
Mic check.
Mic check.
We have an announcement.
An update from Brad.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
From the library.
I'm from the library, but tonight I'm stepping out of that position for the moment.
I brought somebody with me tonight.
I've brought somebody with me tonight
Who was the focal point.
At least partially,
Controversy last night.
regarding finances.
However,
However,
we only have 5 minutes.
if we only have 5 minutes,
It's just not going to happen.
it's just not going to happen. So,
Should I bring it up at tomorrow's GA?
should I bring it up at tomorrow's GA?
Or can we maybe take it somewhere else and discuss it?
Or can we maybe take it somewhere else and discuss it?
Finance committee fairly open. It's about the finances. It's about the bank accounts.
Yeah, is it possible
Is it possible
to see if we can deal with this?
to see if we can deal with this?
And if it goes too big,
And if it goes too big,
then we take it another time.
then we take it another time.
There is disagreement with that.
It's going to take a while. Can we have an outbreak group on it? Don't we have a finance committee meeting you can go to?
Have an outbreak group bring a solution to the GA tomorrow.
Okay. Can you tell us what it is so people can think about it and then we'll deal with it next time? Is that possible?
Okay.
That'd be great.
I brought Claudia with me.
I brought Claudia with me.
We've talked about her last night.
We've talked about her last night,
And she expressed to me
and she expressed to me
that she was nervous about coming to the GA
that she was nervous about coming to the GA
because of some negative sentiment
because of some negative sentiment
that people feel toward her.
that people feel toward her.
Some people feel toward us.
So if we could all be as calm as possible,
So if we could all be as calm as possible,
maybe use our indoor voices,
maybe use our indoor voices,
and take an emotional step back from the situation,
and take an emotional step back from the situation,
we can get to the bottom of this crap
we can get to the bottom of this
and finally move on.
and finally move on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I was not present
I was not present
at the GA last night
at the GA last night
because someone who was facilitating
because someone who was facilitating
has been assaulting me,
has been assaulting me,
and I do not feel safe
and I do not feel safe
in this person's presence.
in this person's presence.
I am here
I am here
in what I feel to be a safe space,
in what I feel to be a safe space,
to be available for full answer and defense
to be available for full answer and defense
to the nature of this financial debacle.
to the nature of this financial debacle.
If you feel that it will take too long
If you feel that it will take too long
and that it will impede the spirit of today's GA,
and that it will impede the spirit of today's GA,
then I am more than open
then I am more than open
to arranging a time with you
to arranging a time with you
where we can have this open, safe discussion.
where we can have this open, safe discussion.
If I might,
If I might,
having tried to sort out the financial issues
having tried to sort out the financial issues
for many weeks now,
for many weeks now,
and having received a lot of negative attention
and having received a lot of negative attention
just for trying to sort this out,
just for trying to sort this out,
while I understand that it may take a long time, I really would love if we could address this, because it's absorbing a lot of our energy. Isn't it funny that money would be the one thing?
I have a point of information. Which is that the food will be here. In like half an hour. So maybe we got a little bit of time.
Wait, does the church?
Maybe 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Can we let Claudia speak, or are these?
Yeah, let's let Claudia speak.
Is it mic check?
Mic check.
I think before
we
have this conversation, it's only fair that we sort of explain what's going on. Say where all, who, like, okay, sorry, 1 second. Okay. I think it would help us. If maybe people who are holding money. Like Brian just did. Just say, I have money. And Claudia could say, I'm Claudia. And then this conversation could be a lot more out in the open. Because supposedly no one's stealing any money anyway. So that would help us that we aren't talking about ghosts. But we're talking about real actors with real money.
I'd like to do that. My name is Michael Vesey, and I have $2,199.35 people's money, and I really have been calling since the first week to turn it over to some financial committee with some legitimacy and some accounting and some checks and balances such as treasurers and whatnot in place that can be decided upon by everybody else. And I'd love to, this money is being saved and will be given to the GA and decided upon by everyone when we've got it all in.
Hi. As far as I know, we have to be done by 8:30. And Reverend Billy is going to do his thing. So we need to include Reverend Billy in this conversation because the world does not revolve around us.
Okay, we've got it. He's got a clarification. Point of clarification. Hold on. Wait, you have something to say, Michael?
Since people have come here prepared to discuss this, that means that step of willingness to discuss has happened. But we cannot discuss it tonight. But because just to hear one person's version is kind of like not the right way to get the whole discussion happening. And we won't be able to do the whole thing tonight. So we should decide that the step of willingness to discuss has happened. But the discussion should take place tomorrow.
Yeah, do we have a block for that? Have we got a block for that?
So, based on what Michael has just said, I think he made an excellent point. Can we do tomorrow morning? I would offer as early as 9 a.m. Because I want to get this resolved as quickly as possible.
Revolution does get up early.
Well, I have a point of clarification.
Point of clarification.
Does this mean Can I just yell? Can everyone hear me?
I don't.
Yeah.
Not back there.
Microphone would help.
So no mic check.
So my point of clarification is, does this mean that we don't need to talk about this at the GA? Because we're going to have a morning meeting that's not necessarily a GA tomorrow?
It's not necessarily a GA tomorrow.
That's my question. When can I talk to you? I would appreciate it.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I intended it to be tomorrow's GA. Other people might think otherwise. Other people might block otherwise. But actually, I was thinking of the GA.
Consensus on the GA tomorrow night.
So, to clarify, that would mean that the General Assembly is not going to harass people tomorrow during the day about the finance issue, and that the finance issue will be discussed at 7 p.m. tomorrow night at Nathan Phillips Square.
Can I say something?
Amendment.
I checked. Okay, I've been involved with you guys.
Just point of clarification.
We're moving it location tomorrow night.
We're moving the location.
Nathan Phillips Square.
It's right. It's right next to Nathan Phillips Square. Do you want to articulate specifically where it is?
No, because I'm not sure.
There's a big central spot that has something above it and has a really cool central spot.
Oh, I know. It's right near Osgood Hall, between the two buildings. It's between the two courthouses.
Mic check! Clarification. Tomorrow's General Assembly. Where this will be discussed. Is between the two courthouses. Just west of City Hall. Somewhere in relation to Osgood Hall. Under the cool hanging thingy. I know that there are a number of other people who have a lot of different issues they want to address. This is awesome. However, it's important that we bring this General Assembly to a close. Is there anybody who absolutely has to speak before this assembly closes? We will take a speaker's list. Each speaker has a limit of 2 minutes. The speaker's list will be closed as soon as it is made. No responses, please.
Who's the first person on the speaker's list?
Speakers list? Anyone want to be on the speakers list? Okay, speakers list. Get this guy on the speakers list.
Okay, I got 2 minutes.
2 minutes. To be concise. 1 minute be better.
So I want to be very concise. First of all, I'm very honored that I will join to you guys. This guy, other guys too. I trust this guy with all my heart. If anybody feels or thinks that he can do better than Michael or do good, join him. But I don't want to listen to critics be down outside. I wish for you guys because I go in Italy, so I won't be with you maybe, I don't know, maybe next year when the bicycle thing's going. I wish you guys the best.
Wish you the best.
Delve in your strength of love and common sense.
Strength of love and common sense.
and ask for inspiration and for strength, patience.
Ask for inspiration and strength.
And then regarding the money, please, don't let the money slow you down because you're going to miss everything.
Don't let the money slow you down.
It's an important factor at the beginning, but not
At the beginning.
And the last things I want to say, going away and see the successful city, what kind of policy and things are bringing ahead, how they run this kind of business. Regarding me, God be with you and all my love.
Michael, you're next.
I could be quick at last. So the guy back there, stood up. Speakers you.
I'll be in 2 minutes exactly.
Okay. I just want to thank whoever arranged for us to meet here. And a sincere thanks to whoever takes care of this space. For allowing this to happen this way. And I'd also like to thank whatever your conception is of a God or a higher power. For allowing us all to be guided by our own highest sentiment towards peace and love.
I just have a quick question. I was wondering if everyone who had the finances could announce how much money they had, just like this gentleman did over here.
Point of information, that will happen tomorrow night.
That'll happen tomorrow.
To avoid any further delay, and belief that there's some lack of transparency, I can tell you exactly what I have. I have two money orders. From a C Lutz. Of $100 each. I also have 3,692 58 cents on a check sent from Rocket Hub, which is the website we use for our crowdfunding before the occupation began. I also have a personal check from whom I forget the person who sent it for another $100. That equals just over $4,000. All of it is addressed to Occupy Toronto. All of it is in non-cash form. So I can't do anything with it. And it's safe. In a place. In my home. I'm not telling you where.
We don't have to know that either.
Okay, Ari, Paul is next.
I don't want to know that.
One more.
Mic check. Thank you. This was my first GA. And I loved it.
Yes. Oh, we were deciding different, but that's okay.
Oh, okay. Does that mean Reverend Billy's not going to be there?
No, he's not speaking.
Okay. So, Jeff.
Misunderstanding.
Thank you. With that, I propose we adjourn the General Assembly.
I propose we adjourn the General Assembly.
Wait. I would like to second that we close this assembly because Reverend Billy has been really patient. This will be resolved tomorrow night. I just have one amendment. Proposal for the General Assembly regarding the fact that we're moving. I'll speak quickly. Regarding
regarding the fact that we're moving the financial discussion to tomorrow night, you have my word, no comments or anything will be made by any individuals regarding the finances tonight, so long as any other individuals also make that promise to not take any action regarding the finances until tonight's discussion tomorrow. Otherwise, I'm not comfortable leaving this room until it's discussed. If that promise is made, I can walk away happy.